Hey guys, this is Charles from worshipguitarskills.com, and in this video I'd like to show you some of my favorite voicings to use when I'm doing these ambient type of chord pads and swells. Now what I'm going to show you specifically is how to use open triads, and I really love these kind of shapes on the guitar because it almost gives you that kind of an orchestral feel that you would get from a string trio, for example. And those kind of voicings is not immediately apparent when you play the standard type of guitar chords. And these are the type of things that keyboard players, when they play pads and stuff, they just do that instinctively because of the way that they know and apply music theory on the guitar. So what you've heard there in the beginning was essentially me using these open triads. So what I'm going to do is, I think, let's dial up like a kind of a clean tone where I'll play a progression on the guitar, just a clean arpeggiated progression, and then I will go ahead and record a little loop, and then I'll play these shapes over that, just so that you can have context for the harmony that we're using here. So I'm essentially going to play C, D, E minor, G, C, D, G, and I'm just going to play an open picking pattern on the guitar here, and then you can kind of see what I'm going to do over that when I'm going to kind of think more like a keyboard player using some of these pads. So let's go ahead and just lay down this basic arpeggio track with a clean guitar tone. Just very basic like that. And then afterwards, I'm going to go ahead and loop what I'm about to record, and then we'll put over the standard progression, we'll put some ambient kind of chord voicings over that. And afterwards, I'll break it down. I'll show you exactly how I'm playing that, and I'll also tell you about a free ambient guitar workshop we're about to release and how you can get access to that. But more about that in a minute. Let's lay down the basic foundation here right now. All right, so there you go. That's the open guitar part. So now I'm gonna go do like a ambient sound patch on my Kemper here, and I'm gonna kind of think like a keyboard player over this part. All right, so here we go. All right, there you go. Now, I just love these kind of voicings. Like I said, it gives you that orchestral feel, almost like a cinematic vibe on the guitar. And now I'm going to break down the voicings to show you exactly what I did. So these are essentially known as open triads. Okay, they're known as open triads, which really is a basic triad, but it's played over a distance that's greater than an octave. So if this is like a C triad like this, then all I'm going to do is I'm going to take this E note, the second note in the chord, and I'm going to play that an octave higher. And then this is a slightly different way of fretting that chord. So that's all it is. So instead of playing just a C chord like this, which is really full sounding, instead I'm just playing these three notes. So just using three notes in my chord, it gives me all of the important harmonic information. It's got a lot of melodic context as well, but because I'm not playing a standard C chord or a standard D chord, or just standard, like, you know, sometimes referred to as cowboy chords, those can sound a bit big. For example, listen to a normal E minor with a swell. So that's just really too much, but listen to this E minor. Or this one. It sounds a lot better, right? Because the chord is not as full sounding as just a standard chord shape might be. Now, like I said, these are open triads. So let's look at this. I can play C like this. That'll be the root position. I can also play C like this. And I can also play C like this. Same for D. E minor. G. So what that means is whenever I play a C chord, it's a triad, right? It means it consists of 3 notes, C, E, and G. And when you play open triads, there's essentially 3 different ways in which you can play these shapes. And that's what I've shown you right here. And you can see the notes on the screen right now. So for each one of those chord shapes, essentially, there's a root note, right? Now, if you know how to play bar chords, then this is going to be easy for you. So for example, this is a bar chord shape, right? And I know that it's played over here with the G note, right? That's my root note, so this will be a G bar chord. This is an A root note, so this will be an A bar chord. Right, so that's nice and simple. So if this is a C root position open triad, if I move it 2 frets higher, whatever this note is, that's going to become a D open triad. Or a G open triad. Alright, so that's the root position when our root note is the lowest note. But I also have what we call a first inversion, where the E note is the lowest note in the chord, and then this becomes the root note. So this is where I find my C. So if I move that up 2 frets higher, this is a D note, and this becomes a D first inversion. Alright, so our third note in a C triad is a G note. That can also become the lowest note in the chord, and then it will sound like this. There's my root note on the highest string. So if I want to play a D, it's going to sound like this. Or if I want to play a G, it's going to sound like this. So that is how you can use these shapes. Learn that shape in the same way you learn a bar chord, but then pay attention to where the root note lives within that chord shape, and then you can just move it anywhere in the guitar to play those shapes. So let's quickly check out the minor shapes so you've got them handy as well. So this is an E minor root position where E is the lowest note in my triad. Here's a first inversion. And here's a second inversion. So what I did in this example, I literally just played C, D, E minor, G, D, E minor, G. And then I could also do C first inversion, D first inversion, G, to a G first inversion, to C. So there you have 6 shapes. You have 3 shapes for the major chord, root position, first inversion, second inversion. You can move that anywhere you want to play a major chord. Just make sure that the root note lines up with the chord that you want to play. And then you have 3 shapes for a minor chord: a root position, a first inversion, and a second inversion. And once again, just learn the shape and move it anywhere on the guitar, wherever you want to play that relevant note. Now, go take these 6 shapes and go and play some progressions. Just choose, some of your favorite worship tunes. Take the progression and then go ahead and just dial up an ambient sound, something with a lot of delay and reverb. So I just wanted to give you this quick crash course. Hopefully it's helpful to you guys, and I'd encourage you to learn these open triad voicings because it will help you to play more of these orchestral sounding voicings rather than just sticking to the typical guitar voicings. Now there's so much that you can do with these voicings and with the tone, and even start looking at some other approaches as it relates to just creating that really lush ambient sound. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be launching a special ambient guitar workshop where we're going to check out the kind of tones, we're going to check out more kind of chord voicings, and we're going to check out some single note lines that you can play in a worship team. And really guys, when you just add this sound and you're able to bring that texture and almost like that dimension to your worship guitar playing, it makes such a big difference. So if you'd like to improve your skills and add this whole ambient sound to your toolkit, then make sure you check out the link in the description box below, and that is where you can register for our free upcoming ambient guitar workshop. Look forward to showing you more ambient goodness. We're going to check out voicings, tone, and different approaches that will help you to become a really confident and competent when it comes to creating these lush soundscapes. All right, guys, if you want to register for the workshop, link below in the description. Please go ahead, like this video, comment, let us know if you enjoyed it, and then I'll go ahead and film more videos for you, which will come and post right here on our YouTube channel.